What's going on, guys? Ben from JK Gear and Gadgets.
And Cassie.
And welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another video. We are down here in Greensboro, North Carolina, where the land is always green and beautiful.
And we're gonna test out the Gladiator today.
And we are going down to Uwharrie National Forest, the same place we tested this Jeep out when it was stock. Now we have the 35s, the leveling kit, new shocks.
Window tint.
Windows tinted, that's very important for off-roading, but it looks beautiful. We're actually doing an install today of the Bestop Sunrider. And I think it's the perfect day to do it because we're gonna go hit the trails. It's still hot out, but it's a little cloudy. We're gonna get some rain. And I think that's like the best part of the Bestrider Suntop. So let's go check it out and get this installed.
Do you know what you just said?
What?
You said Bestrider Suntop.
The Bestrider Suntop, okay. Bestop Sunrider, I like that. The Bestrider Suntop?
Let's go.
Let's go install the Bestrider Suntop. Dun, dun, dun. I'm so dyslexic. I do this all the time. I usually cut it out of my videos. I'm leaving this in. So here's what we have. Yep, that's, we have, let's go ahead and take it out of the bag. What kind of installers are we? All right.
This is more than a one hand each.
Is this more than a two-hand job? All right. All right. A little backstory. This is going to replace our Freedom panels. Before we actually dive into the install, I guess I should explain what this is. Most of you guys have probably already seen this. There's been a lot of people running this. It's a pretty hot, popular item, but it changes out our Freedom panels for pretty much a full front half soft top. We get the benefits of a soft top while still retaining the benefits of a hard top.
Woo!
Woo! Fun. Now, the Freedom panels, made their debut back in 2007 with the JK, and honestly is a great addition to the Jeep for a hardtop. You could pop those two front panels off, enjoy the open air, and honestly, it's a great concept. But I'm trying to think back when the last time I was halfway through a trip, took the Freedom panels off, put them in the back, and continued home. I love the sound of that, but honestly, how often does that happen? I never, if I'm driving and it's sunny out, sure, it's nice, but if I don't already have the Freedom panels off, I'm not making a special stop just to take them off. So I think that's where this Bestrider Suntop is going to, no, it's the Bestop Sunrider. It's just gonna be awesome. We can literally just flip the latch and fold it back. My only concern with this is the fact that it is black and on a color matched hardtop. Is it gonna look funky? I don't know, we'll find out. If you have a black hardtop, it's gonna look really good. But this is something that is gonna be very useful. It's gonna be fun to use, and it just gives us that whole Jeep feel without having to stop and pull the Freedom panels off. So that is enough talking. Let's dive into the install. I can tell Cassie is very interested in the instructions. Should be pretty simple. What do we need? What tools are we gonna need?
We're gonna need Torx driver and safety goggles.
Safety glasses.
They look like goggles in the picture, so.
Did something happen, guys, like during your test facility, during your install, that somebody would need these? And these are
that's pretty much
what they show. So we have these. We got to make sure we follow the instructions. We're also going to need our T40 Torx bit, and other than that, I think we're good to go. First things first, let's go ahead and pull the Freedom panels off the Jeep. First thing we're gonna do is grab one of these support channels. This is the most dangerous portion of this install. Make sure you're wearing your glasses. From what I can tell, you have a really high risk of damaging your eyes. So what we're gonna do is have the Bestop logo right there, little channel facing out. Just kind of pop it right in there, and this top piece pops into the hole. Grab one of our screws and start it from underneath here.
Nice armpit hole, bro.
I have a whole armpit hole. And we want to make sure that we're not getting this too tight. Remember that this is still plastic, and there's no need to go crazy. So we got this side done. Let's knock out the driver's side. Our next step is to attach these little Z-clips, and those are right here. So what we're gonna have to do is grab a second person and actually put this up on the top of the Jeep. Attach these Z-clips into the channel. We're gonna go ahead and grab our two small bolts and attach them under here, right on this channel. Now what I had to do was kind of bend this out a little bit in order to make sure this sits flush all the way. We're now gonna grab a long bolt and this washer. Put it in like that so the bolt is recessed. stick it up through the hole right here in our roll bar. We're gonna come up top and start our nut. Now the nut is gonna be recessed in that little fitting up there, and we're just gonna tighten this up. And one of our final steps is to get this piece, wedge it up in there, and kind of give it a good tap so it sets in place. And reinstall the last 2 screws. And that's that. So now you're probably wondering, do we have to do every single one of these steps in order to remove this? No. What we are gonna have to do is remove this bolt, the first one we did. This one we just put in, and then those 2 right there. And we can remove this to go back to our freedom panel. These 2 little bolts up here and everything else, that's just for the assembly of this as a whole unit. Let's go ahead and close this up and see what it looks like. So I've actually had this installed for going on a week now. Cassie and I installed it down in Greensboro. Later that day, we hit the trails, went down to Uari, had some fun. And right off the bat, the Sunrider was amazing. It was raining on and off that day. So naturally, I would never normally pull the hardtop panels off. But with this, when it started raining, we'd close it up. When it came a little bit nicer out, we'd open it back up to enjoy the off-road open air experience. But I really wanted to wait and get some time behind this and use it a little bit before making this portion of the video, which is gonna be the review. So let's get started off with the review. Overall, this thing is amazing. I've been using it every single day. Every day this week, I've at least had the top open for a portion. Here in Virginia, the weather's crazy. There's always rain in the forecast, and it might only rain for a few hours that day and then become nice like this. So in the past, you know, if I see rain in the forecast, I don't even mess with the top. I leave it on. With this, there's no worries. If it's nice when I'm driving, open it up. When it starts to rain, close it down. Like I mentioned earlier, my biggest concern was having it black with the color matched hardtop. Honestly, it's not as bad as I thought it would be. And the fact that this thing just works so well, it's so useful, I honestly don't care what it looks like because it's so nice just to fold it back and have that fun driving experience. So, I mean, I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you think it looks tacky? If it was a full black hardtop, you wouldn't even notice it was there. But I think since we have this black, the tonneau cover, and it's like the same material in a way. This is the black twill, which is the nicer of the 2. They offered in a twill and the black diamond. The twill is about $100 more expensive, but we'll talk about pricing later on in the video. But honestly, I think it flows really well and it doesn't look that tacky. In a few minutes, we'll go drive. I want to show you guys, you know, the wind noise. I know a lot of people are going to ask about that. Does it kind of flutter around? No, it doesn't, but I'll show you that. And one big thing that I was wondering is, can you fold it back at speed? In the instructions, it didn't say, was there a maximum speed where you can open and close it? I went back and read again this morning. I couldn't find anything, so I've been testing it out myself, trying to open it and close it at different highway speeds and just, not highway speeds. Don't try to close or open this at highway speeds. But let's go ahead and open it up and see what it looks like folded back. So to open it up, all you do is just flop that. Super simple, and fold it back. And now we have that awesome open air experience. It is so nice just doing that real quick and super simple. See what it looks like. So here it is folded back, and as you can tell, it actually looks, it looks really cool. It does not fold all the way down, but it's really not a big deal. This on the road has never flopped around. It almost has like that spoiler effect to it, so it keeps it pushed down. Now Bestop does include a little strap right here where you can strap it down in case you're off-roading somewhere really bouncy and you don't want this bouncing around. I didn't have any issues with that at the trails at Uari. We were bouncing around and that thing was completely silent. But as you can tell, it looks pretty good and it's really easy to operate. So I guess that's really it. We're gonna go hit the road and talk about, you know, the noise level, all that stuff I just mentioned. But before we do that, let's talk about pricing. It's a big factor for every purchase. We could be talking about the best product on earth here, the most useful thing for your Jeep. And if it costs too much, then honestly, that's the deciding factor. These things are a little bit expensive. They do make them for the JK, the JL, and of course the JT. The JT and the JL are the exact same. But the pricing is similar across the board. The cheapest one is $6.99. That's the black diamond cloth. And honestly, it is nice, but I feel like if we're gonna spend the money, get the twill. It's a little nicer material. It is gonna be a little quieter on the road. It is gonna bring those interior temps down a little bit. It's a little thicker of a fabric. So the black twill is $7.99. So that's $800 for this thing. I'm gonna go ahead and say that is not cheap. I know it's expensive, and I know it's a huge purchase for you guys. I was hesitant for a while on this, but if you do have the money and you're looking for something like this, this is the best way to go. There's no leaks, and honestly, it's a very high quality product. So I'm gonna go ahead and say, I know this is expensive. I know it's a mod that a lot of people are not gonna be able to do. And I wish I had some awesome discount code for you guys, you know, to knock off a few $100, but sadly I don't. However, if you are interested in this, call up Jill at Off-Road Elements, tell her I sent you, and she'll get you something special. You know, whether it's free shipping, maybe some type of small discount, or some free swag. You know, Off-Road Elements, great people to deal with, and you know, they'll definitely be able to get you the best pricing online anywhere. So that is enough talking. I'll put all that info in the video description, so you know, if you actually do want this, they will hook you up, you know, make it worth your time. So let's go hop in the Jeep and see what this is about. So riding with it folded back is just like riding with the freedom panels off. You know, you still get the same wind. Honestly, you know, on the highway, there is the wind noise. Now, one big thing I was worried about is this gonna create a little more turbulence and wind noise? It does a little bit, around 50, between 50 and 60, it kind of flaps a little bit. It's not bad. I mean, we already have the top off, so there's already a ton of wind noise, but this little guy right here flaps around just a hair. Is it enough to be that annoying? No, not at all. But is it worth mentioning in the review? Yes. Now, I think that over time, once this kind of loosens up and we, you know, it kind of breaks in, I think it'll flap around less. It'll kind of settle where the wind wants to push it, but we'll see in the future. One of my biggest questions was, at what speed can we open and close this? Sure, when it's stopped, it's really easy to fold this back and latch it closed, or open it if we're stopped. One of my biggest questions is, what is the speed? What's the max speed? I've been testing out a few different speeds. 40 miles an hour is the max I would recommend opening and closing this. Now, I looked in the Bestop instructions and they did not say what they recommended as a speed. I'm sure for liability reasons, they recommend doing it when the Jeep is stopped. But let's be realistic here. The awesome thing about this is that if it starts raining, we can close it up. Now, I will say that this is just my recommendation. You can mess around with it. Sure, if you're a lot stronger, if you have a bodybuilder in the passenger seat, he can probably wrestle this thing close. But let's take it up to 30, 35 miles an hour and show you what I'm talking about. So before we do that, we're gonna go ahead and fold these down and get them ready. Let's get up to 30 miles an hour. Alrighty, so we are at 30 miles an hour. What I'm gonna do is close it. Not bad at all. Use our thumb to latch it, and you do have to kind of let your hand off the steering wheel. It's closed. We would come over here and do the passenger. Now, to unlatch it, we're gonna wanna unlatch, keep our hand on it. Let's get back up to 30. All right, we're at 30. Slowly open it up. So, it is possible. I will say that at 40, it's still doable, but it gets a lot more sketchy. I'd mess around with it, play with it, but the safe zone is under 30. I wouldn't be doing this in traffic because you do kind of have to steer with your knee to get it unlatched. Of course, the safe answer is to come to a stop, close it up, and latch it. But I know people are gonna wanna know if they can open and close it while you're traveling, and it is possible. All right, let's close it up and see what the wind noise is like on the road. All right, this is probably gonna wrap up the video here soon, but let's get it up to 60 miles an hour and see what, oh man, that cold air intake. All right, speed limit 60. I don't want any of you guys getting mad at me. All right. I will say that the GoPro picks up very weird noises, especially compared to like phones and other cameras. Right now, you're probably hearing more of the tire noise than anything, but if I hold it up here, we'll kind of listen. Okay, so I have no idea if you're hearing any of this or what's going on. Coming from the hardtop with the headliners, it is a little bit louder. It's not bad at all. Right now, I'm not yelling, I'm just talking. So, you know, me and Cassie, after we installed this, we drove, what, 5 hours home, and it's not that noticeable. You do hear a little bit when it rains, you can kind of hear the raindrops, but I wouldn't worry about the noise level. It's no louder than any other soft top, and honestly, like even that little bit of wind noise is not noticeable at all. And one of the best parts about it is right now, if we want to put our top down, we can, just like that. Beautiful. This is just beautiful. Now let's see what it sounds like with the top off. It's gonna be just like rolling with your freedom panels off, but I do wanna see if we can see this little guy flapping a little bit. It has broke in a little bit, so I think it's getting quieter. All right, let's get up. Okay, so it has got, there's no flapping going on. It's breaking in, that's good. Speed it up just a hair. There we go, there's no flapping. We have the wind noise, but that's it. Overall, this thing is just awesome. It works well. It is a little bit expensive, but man, it is so nice just having the option of folding back the top or leaving it on when it's raining. So what is coming up next? What is next for the channel? I know a lot of these past videos have been some more expensive items and whatnot, but we have a few videos coming up that I need to do on the LJ, the JK, and this. A lot of videos coming, guys. So I'm gonna try to make some more videos, like how-to videos, some general like off-roading knowledge videos, so stay tuned for all that. But this is something I really wanted to get on soon before the summer came to a close. We still have a long time to use it, and the great thing is that in the winter, if we don't want to leave this on, we can easily pop it off, throw our freedom panels back on, and then when summer or spring comes around next year, throw this back on and enjoy the entire summer, whether it rains a lot in your area or if you just don't want to fully commit to going topless. So I think this video is over. Like always, guys, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and go down to the comments and let me know, have you been running a Sunrider for a while now, whether it's on the JK, the JL, or the truck? I'd like to hear your feedback on it and how much you use it. So far for the past week, I've been using this thing every day, and it's definitely a good purchase. Even though it is a little bit expensive, I'd say it's worth it. So stay tuned for more videos, guys. Like always, keep on Jeeping on.